This morning, before I deliver the message, in our announcements this morning, I forgot to probably one of the most important announcements, and that's a big thank you for Tracy for the music, for Luann being the liturgist, for Diane and the children's message, to our tech team, and to our ushers and greeters. Thank you for that. Today's message focuses on Lakeshore leadership, more specifically on the Leadership Council and the laity leadership roles rather than the positions themselves. First, what is leadership? By definition, according to Merriam-Webster, it's the capacity to lead. The actual word or term was estimated to be first used in 1765. It also can represent a group or body of individuals that collectively demonstrates the capacity to lead, such as our Leadership Council. Thus, when I was searching descriptions for this morning's message referencing leadership, it referred to only a position. At that time, it was the leaders or the elders, rather than a group concept by definition. What is the purpose or the role of the Leadership Council? According to the Book of Discipline, the church council shall provide for planning and implementing a program of nurture, outreach, witness, and resources in the local church. It also provides for the administration of the organization and temporal life. It shall envision, plan, implement, and annually evaluate the mission and ministry of our church. Over the past couple of years, our council, with your support and input, we've reviewed, revised, and developed a blueprint or a plan in the form of a mission statement, which basically tells us who we are and our purpose. And then with that, we develop goals and objectives. How are we going to accomplish that mission that we set forth? The goals and objectives, again, provide the basis for that evaluation as required by the Book of Discipline. See, it's all a plan now coming together. Over the years, with all of the challenges and changes in technology and rising costs impacting our church operations, business practices found their way into the church, almost to a point of survival. Finances took on a major focus for leadership, such as here at Lakeshore. Thus, the mission and goal objectives are critical, so we do not lose sight of what we all are about. We're all doing God's business. As a reinforcement and a reminder, the mission statement is printed on every bulletin that you received and also on every agenda at our Leadership Council to keep that in front of us. Our council is made up of members, volunteers, chairs, and leaders representing all our church committees, teams, and the pastor, plus at-large members from the congregation represented, totaling approximately 14 members, okay? I'm going to give you a little bit idea of all the teams. I'm not going to say everything that they do, but to give you an idea of the complexity and all the things that we touch and are going on in our church. The committees are first the trustees, which are responsible for our funds and our investments and the church property. Next, the SPRC. I think we use that acronym a lot, but it's really the Staff Parish Relations team. They're involved with policies, benefits, job descriptions, hiring, etc. A lot of different duties there. Finance, the Finance Committee is responsible for the church finances and the budgets. Christian education, again, adult and children education. Marketing, they help all the groups with advertising and the church with advertising. Next comes the Caring Committee, responsible for the membership care of our congregation. Next, missions, local and global mission support. Worship, committee has worship and music. Nominations committee, filling vacancies for positions. The next, the UWIF, that new term, which is really the United Women in Faith. Their portion is fellowship, spiritual, and missions. We also have the men's group. Again, fellowship and informative programs that we provide for the men's group and anyone that likes to attend. And then the Guatemala Project, one that that committee just formed here just recently in the last couple of years. These are all structural groups, but there are so many other teams that provide our countless support, from whether you're counting the offering, you're folding bulletins, you're helping with the morning coffee, the community and memorial gardens helpers, and many, many more, so many to list. The reason I'm trying to get this is to show you a little bit of idea of that complexity and how much there is going on in the background. How are our meetings structured? You probably want to know, well, what do we do in those committee meetings or those council meetings that we hold monthly? First of all, we start off with a study prayer, kind of a spiritual start to our meetings. Next, we review and approve our previous month's minutes, okay, for accuracy and for see if there's anything else that we might have missed. Next, we review and discuss our 2023 calendar of upcoming events. This is important that we keep a lookout for what's in the future so we can support and provide what everyone needs for that. It's really part of fulfilling our mission. Next comes the reports of the committees and teams. Each one of these committees that I mentioned then has an opportunity to give an update of what occurred in the previous month, or they may be even asking for something that might need approval or help going forward. Next, we reviewed the old business and the unfinished actionable items. We keep things that we haven't done or completed on that list so we don't miss something. And then when they're completed, it comes off that old business list. Next, review the new business items, okay? Anything that's new that's come up that we need to discuss. We also pretty much have an in-depth, a little bit more in-depth financial review of our incomes and our expenses for that month and also for a year-to-date standpoint for everyone that's on the council to be able to look at. And then last but not least, we have the pastor's report. And we put that at the end rather than at the beginning because that then gives Pastor Sharian an opportunity to maybe give some more points from the discussion that went on in our leadership councils. Also, she tries to keep us abreast of what's going on with conference in Wisconsin. So that's her opportunity then to provide more input to the council itself. On the outside, or maybe at a higher level, our main identity is the United Methodist denomination and Sunday services in our church. Okay? I think sometimes we lose sight of all that is occurring in the background to fulfill our mission and all the leaders and volunteers that it takes to fulfill our mission and all the leaders and volunteers it takes. In reference to today's scripture readings from Hebrews, successful leadership councils and laity committees are the result of volunteers in support of the council and the committees themselves. They can't do it by themselves or can't do it all. We all can help lead in certain situations towards accomplishing a task or a positive income in our discussions and in our church interaction. The key again is participation and not the actual position. All of us can grow spiritually, realizing and recognizing everyone's contributions and skills that we have here, and grateful for what we have. Understanding the role of a leader can be daunting. For example, me this morning, stepping out of my comfort zone. One of the last things that Jesus said to his followers concerning leadership comes from Luke chapter 22, verse 26. Those who are the greatest should take the lowest rank, and the leader should be a servant. When the focus is on being a servant, what better role model can we practice in building a church family serving God? Thanks, everyone, for being such faithful servants and volunteers.